friends, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd have a talk to you today about these dishcloths that I make. I noticed about 3 years ago I was struggling to get dishcloths just in the sort of places I normally buy dishcloths, and there were just none available around my area. I don't know if you struggled in your area to buy dishcloths, but it was just getting silly. And then when I could get dishcloths, they were really poor quality. And the prices, like everything else, had gone up. So I was paying more for worse quality. So I decided to start making my own. And they're so easy. I mean, there's lots of different patterns you can follow online. But it's a dishcloth. So I'm not going to do fancy patterns. So all I'd say is if you don't crochet, this is a really easy sort of project to start if you've never crocheted before. And the only rules I would say is stick with cotton yarn, because with cotton you can wash it at high temperatures, you can bleach it if it gets stained, which it's bound to do because it's a cleaning cloth. And I make loads of these now and I just use them all the time. I normally buy pure white. They didn't have any available at the right price because I will buy it cheap. I won't spend money. So I've got the natural one. If it goes white when we bleach it, it doesn't matter. It's not often I use bleach, but when I'm getting marks out of cloths, my cleaning cloths, for hygiene purposes, I will do soak it in bleach with some cold water. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you can just see what I'm doing. And I'm going to show you how I make my dishcloths. So let's bring you down. As far as this tripod will allow. So I've just got my yarn here. All I'm going to do is wrap it around my finger twice, pull it over once, and then pull it over again. So you can make a slip knot however you're used to. Now with this Aran yarn, it would suggest that you use a hook about a 5.5 millimeter. However, I found with dishcloths I prefer a smaller hook, so I've chosen to use a 4 millimeter hook. And you can make these as large or as small as you want. But all I'm going to do is start with a foundation chain. So I'm going to start with about 35 stitches. So all you do is bring the cotton over the hook and then pull it through. Bring the cotton over and hook it through to make a chain. That's all you need to do. So we'll do a chain. It really doesn't matter how long or short you choose to do it. I just usually do mine about 35. And then I just carry on doing row after row after row until it looks square. With it being a dishcloth, I don't even measure it. So I hope you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just literally holding the yarn with my little finger over my fingers to keep some tension but not too much. And then holding on to my work here. And then I'm just going round the hook, turning it and pulling it through. Round the hook and pull through. And that will make your chain. So I'm just going to count how many I've got on here now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, 22, 24, 26. That's 29. So I might just do 6 more. So the last one on the hook doesn't count as a stitch. So you're going to go in to the stitch, the second chain. Can you see that one? The second one. And you just want to go through and I call it in American terms. I do not like the English or the European terms. This would be a double crochet in English terms. In my, I follow American, so it's a single crochet. And all you're going to do is pop your hook through each stitch and pull the yarn through. So you've got 2 hooks on your yarn. Grab your yarn and pull it through those 2 stitches. Again, you're going to go through the hoop, through the chain, grab your yarn, pull it through. So you've got 2 on your hook there. Grab your yarn and pull it through to the 2 hook loops that are on your hook. And you're just going to go along the whole chain. Now, when we're making something special, we will make sure we go through either the back of the loop or through both of these, so you end up with 2, like a V on your hook. But because this is, and we can do that, I can show you that another time if we do any more projects, but just for this dishcloth, which is going to get all sorts of things on it, and it's going to go through lots of washes and lots of soaking and basically be thrown around like the old rag it's going to be. We don't make a fuss on how neat it's going to be. I'm really not interested in it being a neat and tidy project. I'm just interested in it being a functional item for the kitchen. You can make them as face cloths for the bathroom and have them in different colours, as long as they're cotton. You can crochet them in rounds to make little eye cloths for removing makeup. You can do them in all sorts of ways to make them functional items around your house. Once you've learnt the basics, and it really is the most basic project of all. So you can see that big loop there. That's the stitch I've just done. So we're going to go in next to it, and we're going to grab that yarn, pull it through that stitch, and then we're going to grab the yarn again and pull it through the loops that are on the hook. And that's basically all you're doing for your foundation row. Your first row was your chain, and then I do this all along the first row, just going through each stitch like so, and letting it get caught up now and again. There we go. So on to the very last stitch, which you know because you just got that knot from when you made your slip knot. There we go. So what we're going to do to turn, we're going to do 1 stitch like that, and then we're going to turn our work. Now at the top here, you can see that each stitch looks like a V. Now on every stitch now, all we're going to do is go through the back loop only. Okay, so when you're crocheting, you'd normally go through, let's show you further down so it's easier to see. If you can see that V there, you would put your hook through both of those so that you're catching the V in the hook. But for this project, we want it to have some texture for when you're scrubbing your tops down. So you're only going to go through that back loop only. You're going to ignore this front loop here. Go through just the back loop. So right along every single row now, you are going to go through the back loop only until you've reached the size of cloth that you want it to be. It doesn't matter if you do longer than it is wider, so you've got a rectangle. You can do whatever size of cloth you want, really. Just depends how many stitches you do on your very first chain row to how wide it's going to be. So you're just going to go in through your back loop only, and then what I'll do is I'll do another row with you just so that you can see how the ridges look in the dishcloth, and then I will show you one in a moment that I've finished, and then you can see how it looks for yourself. I know that you saw a dishcloth of mine the other day when I was making the ketchup, and I was wiping the jar down, and to be honest with you, I just make loads of these. I'll usually just buy a pack of 5 balls of cotton online. Usually get them in packs of 5 at a very reasonable price. Whatever cheap price you can. I won't pay a lot. But you could actually ask friends, if you know any friends who crochet, you could ask them if they've got any scraps of cotton yarn that's from, you know, what's left over from a project maybe, that they could let you have. And even if you don't crochet, you could just ask them if you could borrow a hook, a crochet hook. I mean, they are very, very inexpensive, and you can buy them on market stalls. If you have any craft stores near you, I'm sure they'll be able to get you a crochet hook. If they don't have any in stock at the time, they'll be able to order one in for you. And you can buy crochet hooks online in sets for very, very little money. But that's your last stitch now. So again, you'll just chain 1 and then turn your work. So I'll stop the video here now. I know it looks very, very untidy at the moment, but I will just stop the video and I will go and grab the other cloth that I've made so I can show you how it looks when it's finished. I'll be back in a moment. So friends, this is what the cloth looks like when it's finished. And all I did, I don't know if you can pick it up very well on camera, probably that angle's better maybe. Can you see all those ridges? It almost looks like a knit row, purl row in knitting. Just by going through that back loop only, it just provides some texture for the cloth for when you're rubbing surfaces down. And then all I did was a single crochet all around the edge when I'd finished, like that. And then when I got to the very last corner, I just chained 8 and then finished it off and tied it in. So sewed it in. So I've got a little hook in case I want to hang it up to dry when I've washed it. And all you'll do when this is a slightly smaller cloth, all you'll do when you've finished is just grab a darning needle and you will just sew in these ends. As long as you sort of go in one direction and then another, and then just keep going in a few different directions about 4 times, you can be pretty confident that your loose ends are quite secure and won't come undone. So I've gone sort of like 4 different ways there, just very quickly sewing that edge in. So I'll just snip that off there. I'll do the same with this end. Just sew it in 4 different ways and then snip it off 4 different directions. And there's a couple of cloths, different sizes. One is quite a bit smaller than the other. And like I say, I know they don't look very neat. If I'd blocked it, it'd probably look a lot neater. But honestly, I'm really not bothered about them looking neat. I'm just bothered about them being functional. So my friends, that's how easy it is to make a dishcloth. And if you've got a hook and you've got some cotton yarn, I wouldn't use polyester or obviously wool. I just wouldn't. Not for a kitchen, not for scrubbing mucky surfaces down. I would just literally use cotton yarn if you can, and make yourself some dishcloths. Cheaper, better quality. These will last and last and last for years, will these. And I can tell you now, some of the dishcloths I bought in the shops haven't lasted 2 minutes, and you're throwing them away. You're throwing more into landfill, aren't you? These are cotton, proper cotton. These will last for years, absolute years. So yeah, make yourself some dishcloths and let me know how you get on. If you do struggle with crocheting, I can say there's a massive amount of crocheting tutorials here on YouTube from some absolutely wonderfully talented crocheters. People like Jada in Stitches. She's an amazing teacher. She can teach you to do anything. She's so good at crochet. So if you're really struggling with it, just go onto YouTube and have a look at some crochet tutorials. And Mikey's Crochet Crowd, Mikey, he does a very basic from the beginners, a beginner one. He did it a few years ago, but it's still there on YouTube for you to view, and he teaches you step by step how to crochet. Mikey's probably arguably one of the best teachers on YouTube, I would say, but so's Jada in Stitches. She is a fabulous tutor. So I'll try and link their channels below and go on their channels and have a look at them. Bella Crochet is a very good teacher as well. She's English, so she will teach you the English terms, but she'll put the American terms on the screen for you as well. Like I say, I follow the American terms. So like I was doing a single crochet today in English terms, European terms, that's a double crochet. That doesn't make sense to me, but we've all learned to crochet and knit and sew by different teachers, haven't we? So it all depends on what you get taught. But yeah, go and check Mikey out at the Crochet Crowd, Jada in Stitches, and definitely Bella Crochet. She's an amazing crochet teacher, and she has hundreds of YouTube videos for you to go and watch, and get some dishcloths made and some face cloths as well in different colours for the bathroom. That's always nice to do. Nice little project for you to do. One of those projects you can do when you just sat watching telly and you don't need to count and you don't want to have to concentrate on a particular pattern. And if you have never crocheted before, this is a great place to start, because it doesn't matter if you mess up. It's only a dishcloth. So friends, for now I'll say goodbye, God bless, take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.